Okay, so our group did P21 Framework presented by myself, Natalie, and Jose F. So a little bit about the framework overview. So it teaches the skills and knowledge to succeed in work, life, and citizenship in the 21st century. It is actually broken down into two parts, as you can see in this diagram that it used. In the rainbow section right here, it represents the skills, knowledge, and expertise students should master to succeed in work and life in the 21st century. And then the part 2 down here teaches the critical systems necessary to ensure student mastery of the 21st century skills. So the first part is content knowledge and themes. So the mastering of the fundamental subjects and themes is essential for students in the 21st century. And this includes disciplines like language arts, math, science, art, social science, history, and world language. And the themes that they need to incorporate are the first one, which is global awareness. This requires 21st century skills to understand and address global issues, learning from and working collaboratively with individuals representing diverse cultures, religions, and lifestyles, and understanding the nations and cultures, including non-English language. And as you can see, we listed two different sources. This source represents global and cultural learning in schools. So you can see when we click on it, it shows a whole bunch of different links for that. And then the next one shows global issues as well as lesson plans. And so here's global issues and then lesson plans down here. So the next theme is financial, economic, and business and entrepreneurial literacy. So this should show, students should show knowing how to make appropriate personal, economic choices, understanding the role of economy in society, and using entrepreneurial skills to enhance workplace and productivity and career options. So this link right here in resource is actually really useful. It shows the actual standards from the framework, gives examples of student lessons, teacher presentations, and teacher guides. The next theme we cover is civic literacy. This student should learn to participate effectively in civic life through knowing how to stay informed and understanding governmental processes, exercising the rights and obligations of citizenship at local, state, national, and global levels, and finally understanding the local and global implications of civic decisions. And then through this link, students can build upon current civic curriculum through this literature. So it gives lots of examples of that. And the next theme is health literacy. So students should obtain, interpret, and understand basic health information and services, and using such information and services in ways that are health enhancing. Understand preventive physical and mental health measures, including proper diet, nutrition, exercise, stress reduction, and risk avoidance, as well as using available information to make appropriate health-related decisions, and establish and monitor personal and family health goals, as well as understand national and international public health and safety issues. And through these links, you can find things that can help in your classroom, like this one, and American School Health Association resources. So this just kind of shows lots of things about health and learning, and it breaks it down into different categories, as you can see. Moving on to the next theme, environmental literacy. So this demonstrates that students know knowledge and understanding of the environment and the circumstances and conditions affecting it, particularly as it relates to air, climate, land, food, energy, water, and ecosystems. Students should also demonstrate knowledge and understanding of society's impact on the natural world. So this includes population growth, population development, resource consumption rate, etc., as well as investigate and analyze environmental issues and make accurate conclusions about effective solutions, and finally take advantage in collective action towards addressing environmental challenges. These include designing solutions and inspire action on environmental issues. And this link from the National Education Development, it actually shows things like lesson plans, classroom management, school life, teaching strategies, and advice and support that all relate back to environment literacy.
And we're now going to be going into the learning and innovation skills that are in the P21 framework. So let's get started. So one of the items on our list is creativity and innovation. The three main components of this section are for students to think creatively, work creatively with others, and implement innovations. With the section of think creatively, there's a wide range of idea creation techniques such as brainstorming, create new and worthwhile ideas, elaborate, refine, analyze, and evaluate their own ideas in order to improve and maximize creative efforts. Working creatively with others, you have to develop, implement, and communicate new ideas to others effectively, and be open and responsive to new and diverse perspectives. And I think that's a really good implication for teaching history, social science, as we implement different resources from different points of views on certain topics. It's very important for students to understand that. And we included this link right here. When you open it up, it goes to Bloom's taxonomy, and it really goes into depth on ways to work with others and how to analyze, apply, understand, and remember certain information. It gives like a little background. So this is more for like a teacher aspect to just get more in depth into the Bloom's taxonomy. I found it very interesting, and just some additional reading if you guys have time, which I know we probably don't. So now going to the next slide. There's the critical thinking and problem solving. So in this section, students are to reason effectively, use system thinking, make judgment decisions, and solve problems. And I think the really important aspect is system thinking, and that way it allows students to analyze parts of a whole interaction with others to produce overall outcomes, as well as making their own judgments. As history, social science, we're having our students analyze primary sources as well as political cartoons. And on this website right here, it's a pretty cool lesson plan on, if you go all the way to the bottom, there's a bunch of lesson plans. There's one right here that I found about World War I and propaganda posters. So if you just don't want to have a visual text, and you want to replace it with photos, these propaganda posters right here in World War I are pretty interesting. I know this one's pretty iconic right here on the slide too. To destroy the mad brute. So it kind of gives you a little breakdown of what it is and how you could use it in your classroom. I really personally like this because I like enforcing the critical thinking aspect in my classroom. So it's a way if you could introduce this way instead of giving them actual word text. So now going to our next slide, we have communication. In this part, it's very important for students to be able to communicate clearly. Under that section in the framework, it labels articulate thoughts and ideas effectively using oral, written, and nonverbal communication skills in a variety of forms and contexts, as well as using communication for a range of purposes to inform, instruct, motivate, or persuade their audiences, as well as using multiple media and technologies, and as well as just making them communicate with others effectively. There's skills, activities, a website you guys could use. There's a whole bunch of activities you could use to build this communication aspect for your students. There's a very important one right here. Right here, forget about that ad right there. There's a whole bunch you guys could choose from. There's Square Talk, and you can click in on them, see how you could implement that in your classroom. So the next one is collaboration. So skills from creator to career is a little article that we found that you guys could use to teach your students how to work together. But pertaining to the framework, it is at home, in the classroom, and collaboration research. So collaborating with others is very important because if you guys have a classroom where you guys have pods or home groups, you're going to have to teach them how to work together, which is very important because everyone's going to have to learn that skill sometime and somewhere. So it's better to learn it in high school or in middle school. So on this website right here, it kind of tells you the components of collaboration, teaching collaboration in the classroom, because sometimes there are going to be students that, they're individual workers and they don't want to work together. But teaching kids how to work together, how to divide up the tasks together so they could not just do their own parts and just mush it all in together in one Google slide presentation. Works on their task management, how to work with others if they don't get along as well, and interpersonal communication, how you talk to your teammates. You just can't be the bully the whole time. So that is that part, and then we'll go into another section.
Another goal of the P21 framework is for students to develop information, media, and technology skills. We live in a technology and media saturated environment with access to an abundance of information, rapid changes in technology tools, and the ability to collaborate and make individual contributions on an unprecedented scale. To be effective in the 21st century, citizens and workers must be able to create, evaluate, and effectively utilize information, media, and technology. Students should be able to access and evaluate information, use this information accurately and creatively for the issue or problem at hand, and manage the flow of information from a wide variety of sources. One of the best resources that we found for this was the American Association of School Librarians, which has compiled an amazing list of websites that you can use, both for information literacy as well as general content. And a lot of these are very interactive and very fun to go through. We also found this website called Teaching Tolerance, and it has a whole section on digital literacy. And digital and civic literacy skills allow students to learn how to interact with people online and how to use the information effectively. And it also includes a lot of lesson plans, all the way from K through 12. Students should also be able to analyze media, understand how both and why media messages are constructed and for what purposes, and examine how individuals interpret messages differently, how values and points of view are included or excluded, and how media can influence beliefs and behaviors. This is better explained through the current debate about fake news and how to spot said fake news. Many of our resources touched upon that as it's very relevant in today's political discourse. Lastly, students should be able to use technology as a tool to research, organize, evaluate, and communicate information, and to use these digital technologies, communication tools, and social networks appropriately to access, manage, evaluate, and create information to successfully function in a knowledge economy. And one of my favorite resources for this was Nearpod, which a lot of their content you need to have an account and pay for, but they do have some components that are free, including digital citizenship, media literacy, technology applications, and coding. And these are all very relevant for students to learn because they need to develop all these technology and media literacy skills. The goal of the P21 is for students to develop life and career skills. And these are just general skills that will help students be effective and productive members of society and workers as well. These include flexibility and adaptability, initiative and self-direction, social and cross-cultural skills, productivity and accountability, leadership, and responsibility.
The LAC section is the 21st century support systems, and that you could be seeing that on the logo that we put on the second side. So now going into 21st century support systems. Right here, we included a link right here for the P21 framework so you guys can see about them. But there's 4 levels. There's standards and assessments, followed by curriculum and instruction, then professional development, and then finally learning environment. So if you click on this link, those 4 parts are right here in these links right here. And if you have any more questions, we could answer them in the discussion board. So that is our presentation. Thank you so much and have a good day. Thank you.